Detective James had been on the trail of the elusive phantom thief for months. Our tale begins with a cat-and-mouse chase between the shrewd detective and the notorious phantom thief, a cunning criminal who has become a legend in the underworld. The phantom thief, as the name suggests, is as elusive as a specter, leaving behind nothing but a trail of stolen priceless artifacts and a silver coin, a calling card engraved with a mysterious symbol. The city was gripped by fear and fascination. The tabloids were filled with stories of the phantom thief's audacious exploits, and the detective's relentless pursuit. Detective James, a seasoned veteran of the force, had been trailing the phantom thief for months, meticulously piecing together the puzzle that the thief had so cleverly laid out. The phantom thief was not just any criminal. This mastermind had a flair for the dramatic, a penchant for the priceless, and an uncanny ability to vanish without a trace. The victims were always the city's wealthiest, their prized possessions disappearing overnight, only to be replaced by the thief's signature silver coin. The latest heist, however, was the most audacious yet. The city's renowned art museum had been the thief's playground. A rare painting worth millions had disappeared from right under the noses of the security. The thief had managed to slip past the state-of-the-art security systems, leaving behind no traces, no clues, save for the calling card, the silver coin. As the news of the heist broke, Detective James was already on the move. He knew the thief's modus operandi, the penchant for leaving behind the silver coin, the knack for vanishing without a trace. But this time, he was determined to outsmart the phantom thief. As James examined the crime scene, he noticed something unusual. His nostrils twitched as they detected a faint floral scent that seemed to be out of place in the sterile environment of the museum. It was an exquisite fragrance, reminiscent of rare orchids with a hint of something deeper, more complex. This scent was too distinct, too personal to be a mere coincidence. It was as if the aroma held secrets, a hidden message waiting to be unraveled. Intrigued, James followed this olfactory breadcrumb through the labyrinthine halls of the museum, past the ancient Egyptian sarcophagi, through the Renaissance gallery, around the modern art installations. The scent persisted, leading him on. It was like playing a game of hide-and-seek with an invisible adversary, a chase where the only guide was this mysterious scent. The scent grew stronger as James approached a grand painting of a regal queen, her eyes filled with a strange melancholy. As he studied the painting, his eyes fell on the ornate frame. He reached out, his fingers tracing the intricate carvings, and to his surprise, the frame gave way to reveal a hidden passage, a secret pathway concealed behind the canvas. With his heart pounding in his chest, James cautiously stepped into the passage. It was a narrow, winding path that seemed to lead deeper into the bowels of the museum. The scent was overpowering now, a heady mix of anticipation and fear. He knew he was getting closer. Emerging from the passage, James found himself in a secret room. It was a cavernous space filled with stolen artwork and artifacts. Paintings, sculptures, ancient texts, all the missing pieces of the phantom thief's puzzling spree were there, a testament to the thief's audacious exploits. The room was a treasure trove of stolen history, a private gallery of ill-gotten masterpieces. But the thief was nowhere to be found. The scent, however, lingered, a ghostly reminder of the elusive criminal. It was a tantalizing clue, a piece of the puzzle that brought James one step closer to solving the mystery of the phantom thief. Determined to catch the culprit, James studied the stolen items, each one a masterpiece of art and history, ripped from their rightful place. Amid the sea of stolen treasures, a piece of parchment, seemingly insignificant amidst the grandeur of the works around it, caught his eye. It was a letter, its edges yellowed with age, addressed to the infamous phantom thief. The letter was a relic of communication, its contents written with a fountain pen, the ink faded but still legible. It bore a simple message, a cryptic string of numbers and letters. But what intrigued James the most was not the message itself but the signature at the bottom. It was signed with the initials EV. James' mind raced, his detective instincts kicking into high gear. Who could EV be? Was this a clue left unintentionally, or was it another game by the phantom thief? He knew he had to investigate this lead before the trail went cold. His search led him through a labyrinth of information, a web of names and faces, but one name stood out among the rest: Evelyn Vane, a wealthy socialite known for her love of art and adventure. Her reputation was impeccable, her social standing unimpeachable. But James knew better than to trust appearances. He dug deeper, uncovering a side of Evelyn Vane that few knew. Beneath the veneer of the society woman, he found a rebel heart, a thirst for thrill and danger. Her love for art was not just a hobby, it was an obsession. Could this sophisticated socialite be the Phantom Thief? James knew he had a lead that could finally lead him to the Phantom Thief. But he also knew he was entering dangerous territory. He was about to accuse a woman of high society, a woman who could make or break his career. But he was determined to find the truth no matter what the cost. James knew he had a lead. James confronted Evelyn at her mansion, accusing her of being the Phantom Thief. He stood firm, his gaze unwavering as he laid out the evidence before her. The silver coin, the letter signed EV, the stolen artwork, everything pointed towards her. Evelyn, the wealthy socialite known for her love of art and adventure, was taken aback. She found herself cornered, her secret life unraveled. To James's surprise, she confessed. Her voice was a mix of defiance and regret as she admitted to being the elusive Phantom Thief. She had been stealing priceless artifacts to fund her extravagant lifestyle and as a form of revenge against an art world that had shunned her. But the story didn't end there. Evelyn had one more card to play. As James prepared to handcuff her, Evelyn revealed a gun. Her face hardened as she confessed to having an accomplice who was holding her family hostage. She demanded that James hand over the evidence and let her go. James, the seasoned detective that he was, didn't panic. He thought quickly on his feet. He feigned surrender, pretending to comply with Evelyn's demands. But as she let down her guard, he used the opportunity to disarm her. The gun clattered to the floor and Evelyn was left defenseless. James immediately called for backup. The mansion was soon swarming with police, their sirens echoing through the night. Evelyn and her accomplice, cornered and defeated, were arrested. The Phantom Thief's reign of terror was finally over, or so it seemed. But as James looked back at the mansion, the lights flickering in the distance, he couldn't help but feel uneasy. The Phantom Thief may have been captured, but the story felt far from over. For now though, he could rest knowing he had brought justice and restored the stolen artwork to its rightful place. Evelyn and her accomplice were arrested. With the Phantom Thief finally behind bars, James returned the stolen artwork to the museum. The city sighed in relief as the pieces of history, once lost, found their way back home. The grandeur of the museum was restored, the missing gaps on the walls filled with the recovered treasures. The art world was in debt to Detective James, the man who had managed to outsmart the elusive Phantom Thief. Accolades poured in from all corners, his colleagues raising a toast in his honor, the media singing praises of his sharp wit and relentless perseverance. The city's renowned art museum hosted a grand celebration, honoring James for his exceptional service. The atmosphere was electric, the air filled with claps and cheers, echoing through the grand halls of the museum. Yet, amidst the applause and the blinding spotlight, James found himself drawn to the recovered painting, the one that had started it all. The intricate strokes, the hidden secrets within the canvas, it all seemed to whisper tales of the Phantom Thief. The thief who had managed to elude him for months, the thief who had turned the city upside down with her audacious heists. Evelyn Vane, the Phantom Thief, was now behind bars. Her confession had come as a shock, a twist that no one had seen coming. But as James studied the painting, a sense of unease settled in him. The small silver coin with the mysterious symbol, the floral scent, the hidden passage, the secret room filled with priceless treasures, it all seemed too theatrical, like pieces of a puzzle falling perfectly into place. Was it all a part of her plan? Had he played right into her hands? The thought sent a shiver down his spine. The Phantom Thief was known for her grand escapes, her vanishing acts. Could this be another one of her tricks? But as he looked at the recovered painting, he couldn't shake the feeling that the Phantom Thief's story was far from over.